तव कथामृतम् तप्तजीवनम् कविभिरीडितम् कल्मषापहम् श्रवणमङ्गलम् श्रीमदाततम् भुवि गृह्णन्ति ये भूरिदा जनाः भुवि गृह्णन्ति ये भूरिदा जनाः।
ॐ तव कथामृतं तप्तजीवनं कविभिरीडितं कल्मषापहं श्रवणमङ्गलं श्रीमदाततं भुवि गृह्णन्ति ये भूरिदा जना. We are studying the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna and we are in the second edition, second part, and the first chapter is called At the Star Theatre 1, Friday, September 19, 1884. We are not yet gone to the Star Theatre. We are still in Dakshineshwar, and according to my English book, it is page 539 where we have to start today. Bengali 553. Bengali, there is a subtitle Mukurji Digake Shikha. So that is the point where we are starting now. Up till now, Sri Ramakrishna was talking to Radhika Goswami, who is from Advaita Goswami's heredity. And Sri Ramakrishna is mainly talking about the narrowness of the Vaishnavas. And he was telling about Vijay, that Vijay, according to his love for truth as he understood it, he had joined the Brahma Samaj. But in company with Sri Ramakrishna, all his Goswami sanskaras came up and he started getting direct experiences of the Sagun Sakar. And so he came in trouble with the Brahma Samaj because he was their paid preacher, and which post it is difficult for him to hold on now. Now when Thakur tells all this, Radhika Goswami says that now he can be taken back into the Vaishnava fold. Thakur says, what is that to him? Radhika Goswami says, no, not like that. The Vaishnavas will feel blessed by accepting him. Like that, the conversation was going on. And now, the topic has changed. There is a subtitle in Bengali. So, he is now talking to the Mukherjee brothers. We have known Mukherjee brothers by now. Here also a little introduction is given. Sri Ramakrishna talked to the Mukherjee brothers. Mahendra, the elder, had his own business. Priyanath, the younger, had been an engineer. After making some provision for himself, he had given up his job. Mahendra was 35 or 36 years old. The brothers had homes both in the country and in Calcutta. So that is their introduction. And Thakur wants the younger to positively struggle for spirituality. So he is telling now, Master smiling. Don't sit idle, simply because your spiritual consciousness has been awakened a little. Awakened a little. That is not a very big progress. And don't sit idle here. It is at this point that you should struggle very hard. Go forward. Beyond the forest, now he refers to a story of going forward. And we have heard that story many times. Let us remember that there was a woodcutter and he used to cut wood and somehow make his livelihood. One brahmachari met him and he told him, go forward. So after some days, the woodcutter remembered that and he went further away from that wood forest. And he got a forest of sandalwood, selling which he got very great money. But after some time he remembered, the brahmachari did not tell me to go to sandalwood. He told me go forward. So he went further away and he found silver mines. He became a very rich man. But again he remembered, go forward, and he found a gold mine. Again, after some days he remembered, go forward, and he found diamonds and jewels. And selling that, he became rich forever. That is the story Sri Ramakrishna has told. And the devotees might be knowing that Sri Ramakrishna, they must have remembered. So Sri Ramakrishna is just referring to that. Beyond the forest of sandalwood, there are other and more valuable things, silver mines, gold mines, and so on. Priya, smiling. Sir, our legs are in chains. We cannot go forward. So he's perhaps talking of attachment. But he talks of legs. So Sri Ramakrishna, taking that hint, says, Master, what if the legs are chained? The important thing is the mind. Bondage is of the mind, and freedom also is of the mind. So the direction mind takes makes for bondage and makes for freedom. Listen to a story. There were two friends. One went into a house of prostitution and the other to hear a recital of the Bhagavata. What a shame, thought the first. My friend is hearing spiritual discourse, but just see what I slipped down to. The second friend said to himself, shame on me, my friend is having a good time, but how stupid I am. After death, the soul of the first was taken to Vaikuntha by the messengers of Vishnu, while that of the second was taken to the nether world of Yama. The full story is that because he was sitting in prostitute house but thinking of the kirtan, spiritual discourse, and the second, though was present in spiritual discourse, was thinking of the prostitute. So where the mind is, that will be the result. And so, because the mind was in prostitute's house, he had to go to hell. And because the mind was in the spiritual discourse, he had to go to Vaikuntha. So that is the story. Where your mind is, that direction the future will take place. Priya. But the mind is not under my control. So Thakur tells mind is free. Where the mind goes, your future lies there. But he says, I'm not free to take my mind where I want. Master, how is that? There is such a thing as Abhyasa Yoga. Oh, if your mind is not there by old habits, start practicing the new thing. Again and again attempt. That will gather the momentum of the mind. Very important advice. Your mind today may be somewhere, may be stuck up somewhere, but if you make attempt again and again, the mind can change the direction. Yoga through practice. Keep up the practice and you will find that your mind will follow in whatever direction you need it. So, Abhyasa Yoga means to realize God by repeated practice. That will change the course of the mind. The mind is like a white cloth, just returned from the laundry. It will be red if you dip it in red color dye, and blue if you dip it in blue. It will have whatever color you dip it in. So, second part. First part, it does not have the habit. You practice again and again, it will go in that direction. Second, mind has not got any sanskar up till now. So don't give it the sanskar of the worldly life, give it the sanskar of the spiritual life. Then mind will go there. Now, in between is asking the Goswami. Goswami is still there. To the Goswami, have you anything to ask? Perhaps in this new respect? Goswami, no, sir. I am satisfied that I have seen you and I have been listening to your words. Seen you is a very important thing. Thakur's every action, Thakur's behavior, the very appearance will lift the mind up, will lift you away from sectarianism. And he is listening also. So he does not want to ask a separate question. What Thakur is telling the Mukherjees, that also is very valuable for him. Master. But Thakur thinks that because he is sitting quiet, his receptivity may be full now. So Master says, go and visit the temples. Now, the Goswami was hiding something. Something is there in his stomach. And because Thakur tells him to go away, that thing now comes up. He wants something, though he is not telling that. But when Thakur wants to terminate his stay, then what is in his stomach comes out. That is the position of man's mind. He hides, but Thakur will not allow him to hide. Why you are sitting here is Thakur's question. Go away. But he has something in his mind. And so that comes out now. Goswami very humbly, won't you please sing something about Sri Gauranga? So that is what he wanted. Thakur has told about the sectarianism, but Thakur has told also about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So if Thakur sings something about Gautam Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, that will fill the Goswami with more joy and his momentum in his bhakti will increase. And Thakur immediately complied. Thakur knew, see, Thakur's psychology, because he was sitting quiet. Thakur told him, any question? He did not ask. Thakur told him, go away. Then he's asking. But Thakur is so compassionate. He did not take offense. He did not see that fault of the man, but he complied immediately. The master complied. He sang. That means rather, his talk to the Mukherjees is over. And Mukherjees also will benefit by this. He sang, why has my body turned so golden? It is not time for this to be. Many the ages that must pass before as Gauranga has appeared. Understand the context? It is Krishna who is singing. And Krishna's body is blue, darkish. Radha's body is fair. And one day Krishna finds in a particular mood that his body has become white. So he says, some ages have to pass when Krishna will appear as Nit Gauranga Mahaprabhu. Because Krishna wanted to know how Radha enjoys the union with Krishna. And so he was born as outside Radha, fair, inside black Krishna. That is the avatarhood of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So, Thakur is singing about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, but the time is Krishna avatar is still going on. Many the ages that must pass before as Gauranga has appeared. Now, next song is about Gauranga directly. Again, Gora, fair complexion, that becomes the name itself, Gauranga. Gora gazes at Vrindavan and tears stream from his eyes. Simply by looking at Vrindavan, because it is associated with his past incarnation as Krishna. In an exuberance of joy, he laughs and weeps and dances and sings because the past memories have come up in him. So he is joyful. He takes a wood for Vrindavan, the ocean for the blue Yamuna. He rolls on the ground for love of Hari. So even when he was in the Puri, Jagannath Puri, there is the ocean there. But ocean is dark and his memory is filled up with Yamuna. So he sees that ocean as Yamuna. And the forest there, he sees that as Vrindavan, the forest of Vrindavan. That is how he is gazing and becoming filled with joy and sings and dances. So identity with Gauranga and Krishna is again brought out in this song. After singing, the master went on with the conversation to Goswami. Master to Goswami, I have sung these songs to suit your Vaishnava temperament. Clearly, but I must sing differently when the Shaktas or others come. So again, Thakur wants to, he has obliged him, but he wants to hit at the sectarianism. And he tells, I am not bound by your Vaishnavas. If the Shaktas come, I am Shakta. If the Shaivas come, I am Shaiva. And I will sing for them also. So he is teasing him in a way. But I must sing differently when the Shaktas or others come, some other sampradaya. Here people of all sects come. Vaishnavas, Shaktas, Karta Bhajas. That is a subsection of the Vaishnavas, but very different. Vedantists, who do not believe in the forms of God, who believe in the identity, and all ideals and attitudes. So whoever approaches God is welcome with Thakur. Thakur has practiced all, he has experienced the summit of all, and so there is no sectarianism in his life. It is by the will of God that different religions and opinions have come into existence. So he is again and again trying to make that Goswami's mind broad and tell all the sampradayas are not man-made. Seeing the constitution of human mind, God himself has created different sampradayas. That is the attitude proper. God gives to different people what they can digest according to their temperament. The mother does not give fish pilau to all her children. All cannot digest it. So she prepares simple fish soup for some. It is a cut thing from what Thakur tells elsewhere, that mother prepares many preparations from fish due to two reasons: capacity to digest and taste. So in human beings of all sampradayas, these two create the difference. Some people are nearer to God. Some people are on the same level but different tastes. So God provides for all of them by different sampradayas. Now, another example he gives, they provide various images for the Barwadi. Barwadi is a religious festival where all the full community total celebrates it together. And people are belonging to different sects there. And so the potters supply different images to that festival. Like God creating sampradayas. Really beautiful example. Because people of different sects assemble at it, you see their images of Radha Krishna, Shiva Durga, and Sitaram, different images in different places within that festival, in different places. People are worshipping differently. A crowd gathers before each image. The Vaishnavas spend most of their time before the image of Radha Krishna, the Shaktas before Shiva Durga. Vaishnavas are mostly Krishna devotees. So, though Rama is also avatar of Vishnu, Thakur separates it and tells for this reason. And the devotees of Rama before Sita Ram. But it is quite different with those who are not spiritually minded at all. In that common festival, all are not images of God. There are some funny images also. And people who are not interested in any set go there. But it is quite different with those who are not spiritually minded at all. In the Baravadi, one sees another image also, a prostitute beating her paramour with a broomstick. Those people stand there with gaping mouths and cry to their friends, "What are you looking at over there? Come here, look at this." All laugh because of this Thakur's example. That's some people, even today, they say all religions are same for us because they are not interested in any religion. They are interested in fun and frolic and enjoyment of the lower type. Radhika Goswami saluted the master and took his leave. So now, whatever he has absorbed, Thakur has told him everything. So now he will have to ponder over it and come to a proper direction. It was about 5 o'clock. The master was on the semicircular west porch. Baburam, Latu, the Mukherjee brothers, M, and some other devotees were with him. So another subsection starts. The Bengali heading is Chokra Bhaktader Sange Ananda. Fun and frolic and joy with the young devotees. Master to M and the others. Why should I be one-sided? The Goswamis belong to the Vaishnava school and are very bigoted. They think that their opinion alone is right and all other opinions are wrong. My words have hit him hard. Thakur knows that. Smiling. One must strike the elephant on the head with the gourd. That is the elephant's most sensitive spot. Thakur knows everything and he has hit him on the sensitive spot. Then Sri Ramakrishna told a few naughty jokes for the young men. Throughout the gospel, we will find such lines, but never, never, never any mention of the details, because that is not Master Masha's temperament. Master to the devotees, I don't give the youngsters a pure vegetarian diet. That is Thakur's way of teaching. If he goes on talking seriously about God's experience, the youngsters may feel bored at some point. So in between he introduces some humor, then their mind is relaxed, then again he will talk about God. That is his technique. Now and then I give them a little water smelling of fish. Otherwise, why should they come? The Mukherjee brothers left the porch. They went to the garden for a stroll. Master to him, I wonder whether the Mukherjees have taken offense at my joke, because he meant it for the youngsters. Mukherjees were still there. They may not take it as joke. M, why should they? Captain said that you are like a child. After realizing God, a man becomes childlike. So Master has become, though he has not mentioned what is job, but he has become very conversant with this aspect of Thakur and he understands it. Master, yes. So this aspect Thakur has liked and appreciated, that after realizing God, a man becomes childlike. Yes, and sometimes he behaves like a boy. Now, within that young age, there are three distinct parts. Balya, Pauganda, Yuva. Child, adolescence, young man. So in the young boys, there are these three states. Now, the question is, after realization, one becomes like a child. Thakur is telling, after realization, one becomes like any of these three. Yes, and sometimes he behaves like a boy and sometimes like a young man. It appears 2 years. No. Child, young boy, and young man. Child, boy, and young man. According to the Bengali, child, adolescent, and young man. So in the English translation, that adolescent has become a boy. Adolescent has much more significance than a mere boy, because inside the growth is taking place gradually. And that is what he mentions. This must be corrected. Adolescence. As a boy, he is very light-hearted. All these adolescents, he may use frivolous language. Child does not use that language. As a young man, he is like a roaring lion while teaching others. Thakur has further split that idea of the Viveka Chudamani, that Balavadva. He says Bala Poganda Yuva. And he describes the corresponding attitude or behavior. As a child, he is very innocent. That is not what he was exhibiting now. He was joking with the boys. So he described that as adolescence. And then he is teaching them also. And so he described that as youth. So Thakur is telling, see in me, and you will find all these stages. Those who are following Bengali will find a lot of it is skipped. Now I'm not going to take that. You had better explain my state of mind to the Mukherjee, because Master Maharaj has understood, Thakur has made him understand much more splitting, and then says he should tell the Mukherjees so that they should not misunderstand and come to grief. I don't have to do that. Haven't they the sense to see it? That is Master Maharaj's confidence. Again, the master became light-hearted with the voice. Then he said to one of the devotees, today is the new moon. Go to the Kali temple in the evening. Amavasya is the special day for Kali worship. It was dusk. They heard the sound of gongs, cymbals, and other instruments used in the evening service in the temple. So here in the English translation, dusk changes the meaning sometimes. Dusk is before evening, and this is now evening. In Bengali, Sandhar Pa, after evening. The master said to Baburam, come with me to the Kali temple. He and Baburam went forward to the temple, accompanied by M. At the sight of Harish sitting on the porch, the master said, what is this? Is he in ecstasy? Where is that? You don't know. Anyway. Going through the courtyard, the master and the devotees stopped a minute in front of the Radhakanta temple to watch the worship. Then they proceeded to the shrine of Kali. With folded hands, the master prayed to the Divine Mother, O Divine Mother, O Brahmamayi. Reaching the raised platform in front of the shrine, he bowed low before the image. Here the main thing is O Mother, O Divine Mother, O Brahmamayi. So Kali and Brahma are same for him, but in the attitude of the mother, which was divine. The arati was going on. He entered the shrine and fanned the image. That is a style in Bengal that at the end of the arati, Chamar Vajan is done. But while arati is going on, another man stands a little aside and fans with a big fan. Because of our arati ritual, the mother is perspiring. And so, with out of devotion, we fan her. That is attitude. And Thakur is to do that. He is not engaged in the ritualistic arati now, worship. So, sitting on the side, he is fanning. The evening worship was over. The devotees bowed before the deity. It was the night of the new moon. The master was in a spiritual mood. Gradually, his mood deepened into intense ecstasy. He returned to his room, reeling like a drunkard and holding to Baburam's hand. Because intoxicated with the divine bliss, so he could not hold his balance. And Baburam, he has held from the beginning, come Baburam with me. And so Baburam is holding him. Master's descriptions are for us to visualize and meditate. A lamp was lighted on the west porch. The master sat there a few minutes chanting Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari Om, and other mystic syllables of the Tantra. Are they given here? No. Tantrokta Nanavid Bij Mantra. Okay. Presently, he returned to his room and sat on the small couch. Now, this evening, if he had not gone for Arati, he would have chanted like that. That was automatic in his behavior. So, after Arati, little still time is left, so he chanted. Presently, he returned to his room and sat on the small couch facing the east. He was still completely absorbed in divine fervor. He said to the Divine Mother, Mother, that I should first speak and you then act. Oh, that's nonsense. Now, this he is referring to Radhika Goswami and others. And he is same as mother. But he speaks sometimes as the human instrument of the mother, human in appearance, and the reality. So he divides like and says, I preach and you do like that. That is nonsense. What is the meaning of talk? It is nothing but a sign. So by talking, I cannot completely explain that. One man says, I shall eat. Again, another says, no, I won't hear of it. Well, mother, suppose I had said I would not eat, wouldn't I still feel hungry? Is it ever possible that you should listen only when one prays aloud and not when one feels an inner longing? Sir, how beautiful is expressing how we should behave with God. And God will give response to everything. You are what you are in the real nature, indescribable. Then why do I speak? Why do I pray? Where do I speak about you? To explain. Where do I pray? To go up. I do as you make me do. So even all these are nothing but as an instrument. Oh, what confusion? Why do you make me reason? Sir, Thakur, beautiful. By thinking of he as a person and mother as the reality, he says he is creating a confusion. Why do you make me reason? So this reasoning has created that confusion. If he had not analyzed, he himself is the mother, though he appears in a human form. As Sri Ramakrishna was thus talking to God, the devotees listened wonderstruck to his words. They could find this dichotomy beautiful. The master's eyes fell upon them, on the devotees. Master, to the devotees, one must inherit good tendencies to realize God. Inherit good tendencies. That means this life, some good tendencies you earn, and that will be useful in the next life. Inherit does not mean from father. One must have done something, some form of tapasya, either in this life or in the other. So if you see a man is already grown, it means he has done in the past life. An important statement. Important statement. If we earn something in this world, money, house, this and that, we cannot take anything with us. We leave all that behind. They tell a story of the so-called great Alexander, that he had conquered many countries, he had looted many kings. At the point of death, he is keeping those crowns on his chest and near about, and looking at them, he is saying, I can't take any of this with me. On the other hand, if you have earned spiritual merit or sanskaras, in the next life you start from that point. Any spiritual height gained is not lost. In the next life, you will get that much advantage and you will start with that. So that is the important thing Thakur is telling in simple words. Now he gives an example of having done something which the God recognizes. Beautiful examples from Thakur. When Draupadi's clothes were being taken off, those who are not conversant with Indian things, there were 100 Kauravas and 5 Pandavas, the cousins. And the Kauravas were jealous of the Pandavas and they wanted to cheat them. The maternal uncle of Kauravas had some special dice made, which used to fall according to his will. And he challenged the Pandavas to the dice game. Now, Yudhishthira was fond of dice. And so, if you know dice, you cannot reject the challenge that is the Kshatriya code. So he came and he went on losing one after the other. He lost everything. He staked himself, his brothers, and he staked his wife Draupadi also. Now he lost that. So those evil-minded people, Duryodhana the king, Dushasana his younger brother, Karna, etc., they wanted to humiliate the Pandavas and Draupadi, who was a very great pure lady. So he ordered Dushasana, take away her clothes. When Draupadi's clothes were being taken off, she cried earnestly, praying to God. God revealed himself to her and said to her, not other, try to remember whether you have ever made a gift of a cloth to anyone. Then your modesty will be preserved. So if you have done something, you'll get the result of that. Something. Draupadi replied, yes, I remember now. Once a rishi, a sage, was taking his bath when his loincloth was carried away by the current. The sages live only on one cloth, and if that is burned away, then I tore off half my cloth. Whatever sari she was putting on, she tore half of it. That is Draupadi. And gave it to him. Thereupon the Lord said, then you have nothing to fear. So if you do something in the spiritual sense, it is stands to your credit. M was sitting on the small food truck. Master to M, you have understood what I said? Because Master has to remember everything, understand everything, note down, and in the future to produce the gospel. M, yes, sir. You spoke about inherent tendencies. Master, repeat what I said. So he wants to know whether Master has exactly got it or not. M repeated the story of Draupadi. That Star Theatre will come on the next date, but the chapter is made of 2 dates, and that is why the heading has come. Hazra entered the room. We know about Hazra very well now. He shows to people that he is also pious and he stays near Sri Ramakrishna, so people will respect him also and he will get some money from them. Hazra entered the room. He had been living with Sri Ramakrishna in the temple garden for the past 2 years and had first met the master in 1880 at Sihod in the house of Hriday. These are places near Kamarpukur. Sihod is where Thakur's nephew Hriday was born, and Thakur used to go there. And there he had met Hazra. The master's nephew. Hazra's native village was near Sihod, and he owned some property there. He had a wife and children, and also some debt. From youth, he had felt a spirit of renunciation and sought the company of holy men and devotees. The master had asked him to live with him at Dakshineshwar and looked after his necessities. So, because he had some spirituality, Thakur allowed him to stay so that his necessities will be supplied. Hazra's mind was a jumble of undigested religious moves. He professed the path of knowledge and disapproved of Sri Ramakrishna's attitude of bhakti and his longing for the young devotees. He could not understand anything. Now and then he thought of the master as a great soul. But again, he slighted him as an ordinary human being. Thakur is compassionate, so he allows him to stay. He spent much of his time in telling his beads, and he criticized Rakhal and the other young men for their indifference to the practice. They were so dear to Sri Ramakrishna, by simply their love for Sri Ramakrishna, they are going to get everything. He was a strong advocate of religious convention and rules of conduct and made a fad of them. He was about 38 years old. So this is about Hadra. As Hadra came in, the master became a little abstracted and in that mood began to talk. Master to Hadra. What you are doing is right in principle, but the application is not quite correct. Don't find fault with anyone, not even with an insect. As you pray to God for devotion, so also pray that you may not find fault with anyone. That's a very important thing in spiritual life. Your mind goes down when you find fault. Hadra, does God listen to our prayer for bhakti? He is not sure of that. He does not know that. He has never tried that. He is rather insulting that. Master, surely I can assure you of that 100 times. But the prayer must be genuine and earnest, not only in words. Do worldly minded people weep for God as they do for wife and children? So that much earnestness should be in the prayer. At Kamarpukur, the wife of a certain man fell ill. The man thought she would not recover. He began to tremble and was about to faint. Who feels that way for God? So he gives a direct example of what he had seen and says, who feels for God like that? Hadra was about to take the dust of the master's feet. So from time to time, he would be filled with respect. Master shrinking, what is this? Hadra, why should I not take the door of his feet who has so kindly kept me with him? So that thing is there in Hadra's mind. Master, satisfy God and everyone will be satisfied. Don't take Master as a man. If he is pleased, the world is pleased. When the Lord, now for this example, when the Lord ate a, let me tell the story. Draupadi, when they went to the forest, Draupadi, with the grace of sun god, got a pot. And that pot would be enough, give enough food to feed anybody at any time. But once it is washed and kept away, then it would not give food. So she fed the Pandavas and any guest also. Now, this was not known. Kauravas wanted to humiliate Pandavas, bring them to grief. There was a sage, powerful man, you may say, Durvasa, and he had 1,000 disciples. So Duryodhan prompted him to go to Pandavas. He knew that he will ask for food, and Pandavas have no means of satisfying 1,000 people. And so Durvasa will get angry and curse them. That was Duryodhan's mischievous idea. So what happened? When they came, they said, we are going to take bath in the river, we will come back and take food. So Draupadi prayed to Sri Krishna. Sri Krishna came and said, I am hungry, give me something to eat. So what was there? Nothing. But he said, no, look into the pot. And one tiny piece of vegetable was found there. And something God wants, something. So he ate that and belched. So when his stomach was filled, he is in everybody. So Durvasa and 1,000 disciples felt they are filled, they do not want to eat anything. And now how will they go back? So they went away. That is the story. Once the Lord ate a few greens from Draupadi's cooking pot and said, I am satisfied. Immediately the whole world and all its living beings were satisfied. They felt as if they had eaten their fill. But was the world satisfied or did it feel? That was when the rishis ate their food. So this is only about one who is identified with the whole world. To Hazra, a perfect soul, even after attaining knowledge, practices devotion or observes religious ceremonies to act as example to others. I go to the Kali temple and I bow before the holy pictures in my room. Therefore, others do the same. Further, if a man has become habituated to such ceremonies, he feels restless if he does not observe them. Habit. One day, I saw a sannyasi under the banyan tree. He had put the shaligram on the same carpet with his guru's sandals. He was worshipping them. I said to him, if you attain knowledge to that extent, means finding sandal and shaligram equal, then why such formal worship at all? He replied, what difference does it make? Since I do everything else, why not this too? Eating, drinking, nothing is necessary after realization. But when I do that, why not this too? Sometimes I offer the flowers at the Guru's feet and sometimes to God. One cannot renounce work. Work means the feeling that I am the doer. As long as one has a body, as long as there is mud at the bottom of the lake, bubbles will be produced. To Hazrat, if there is knowledge of one, there is also knowledge of many. What will you, I think we'll take it up tomorrow. Om Tava Kathāmritam Tapta Jivanam Kaviviridhitam Kalmashapaham Shravanamangalam Shrimadatam Bhuvi Grunanti Ye Bhurida Jana. Om Shanti 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 Hare Om Tat Sat Sri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu. Let me tell something. Day before yesterday, I saw in the chat box one person named Akash saying that he has a question. Twice he said like that, but I could not find that question. So if Akash is present today, I appeal to him. He has not written that question even today. He can take my email ID pitambarananda@rkmm.org. He can have my WhatsApp number 9897134205. So from any source, let him ask the question, then only I can reply. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.